Guys, this latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super was damn good. For as enjoyable as the dialogue has been with this Granola arc so far, at the end of the day, who are we kidding? When it comes to Dragon Ball, we are looking to see some good fights first and foremost, and when it comes to that, this chapter made sure to deliver. With the previous one, Goku and Vegeta had finally made it to the planet Cereal in search of this supposed tyrannical villain. And the two of them in this pursuit would suddenly be targeted by a number of exceedingly accurate ki blasts that they would only barely manage to dodge. That was before one was able to land a direct hit on Goku's vital point, taking him out in a single shot. However, thanks to the use of one of their two senzu beans, he would be restored back to full health. Now, when they finally faced Granola, he would of course rant about them being Saiyans and such, but to make up for that previous blunder, Goku would face him first, while Vegeta did some investigation. Now, the battle between Goku and Granola was a fierce one. Despite the speed of Super Saiyan God, Goku's movement seemed sluggish to the right eye of Granola. With the use of Ultra Instinct in tandem with Super Saiyan God, Goku's evasive capability skyrocketed, but it wasn't enough. From there, the fight would escalate once more, with discussion now off the table, as Goku would enter Super Saiyan Blue, and the two would continue to clash, much to the peril of the planet's inhabitants. But with this time, Vegeta was able to figure out who Granola is, and why he has such a vendetta against their people. With this latest chapter, the intensity of this Goku vs Granola fight was clear as day, as Granola would fire off a barrage as Goku rushed inwards with a determined look. Goku would evade each and every one of these blasts and close the distance between them, as Granola would leap out of the way just in the nick of time. But Goku was only just getting started and would give chase to this Aurelian. Now, like an aerial game of tag, the two would transition us into a forest as Goku would launch ki blast after ki blast in an effort to catch his opponent with the falling debris. And just as Granola fled behind a tree, much to Goku's surprise, he was gone. But in fact, Granola had actually wrapped his scarf around the tree, now swinging towards Goku and delivering an incredible kick as Goku would crash through a number of trees before gripping onto a branch and springing off it to lessen the momentum and cushion his descent. His defenses would then hastily be readied as Granola was now the one on the attack, closing in rapidly, then landing a major punch onto an awkwardly defended Goku. This blow hurt. But before Granola could pull away or go for another one, Goku would lift his right leg up and retaliate against Granola, who was certainly struggling a bit here himself, and as he attempted a counter of his own, Goku would catch him mid-swing with a mean fist to the face which launched Granola elsewhere and into a tree, causing its immediate collapse. And oh, would you believe it, the moment it fell, he returned the favor with a kick to Goku's face. This impromptu deforestation would thereafter be concluded with a sudden surge of energy from Goku as Granola closed in and was caught a bit off guard. This was Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan Blue. Now out of the forest, Goku would open his eyes once more as Granola would acknowledge this change. He would boldly proclaim that the end result would be the very same if this was no different from when he had red hair, as Goku would respond by saying that Ultra Instinct in tandem with Super Saiyan Blue wouldn't be so easily countered. And faster than a blinking eye, the two would get right back into the action as Goku would evade each and every one of Granola's ki blasts yet again. His evasion was superb and really gave Granola a hard time as he really couldn't keep up. And so now, with his opponent off guard, Goku would close in head on and charge a point blank Kamehameha as Granola moved towards his vitals with a pointed hand. Their attacks were simultaneous and the fallout from this power was sizable. Both Goku and Granola would be floored in opposite directions. Again, Granola was very confident in his right eye and his ability to lock onto Goku's vital points. As such, he would furthermore express that no transformation has zero openings, to which Goku would argue that Ultra Instinct actually shouldn't have any weaknesses, that if there are any, that's simply a failure on the part of his own training. You see, in the end, he's still not entirely acclimated to Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct, and so he is a bit vulnerable. Granola in response would again speak of how his people were slaughtered by the Saiyans, which Goku didn't really understand at all. But without wasting any time, Granola would cause the very ground beneath Goku to erupt, very much like a previous attack from Moro. Because of this, the Shugarians would begin to evacuate. And truly, this outburst was powerful. It was a bit too much for Goku to handle, and so he instead opted to instant transmission to Vegeta's position. Vegeta would question if he'd been struggling, as Goku would admit that if he's to win, he'll likely have to go all out. But after saying that, Vegeta would tell Goku about Granola's origins as a member of a sniper clan who'd been annihilated by the Saiyans during their time as Frieza's lapdogs. And with that, it was pretty clear that they had been set up here. But it was too late to back down now. But in knowing this, Goku, being the more optimistic of the two, would question if they might be able to convince him of the truth, but Vegeta would disagree with his plausibility. From there, Goku would decide to take him out before they try and convince him. So yeah, Goku still intended to fight him, but this time, he would be using Ultra Instinct at full power instead. And this entrance was all kinds of divine. This is most definitely a technique of the angels, and to Granola's dismay, he could not identify a single vital weakness. He'd questioned what in the world this transformation was, which was a question Goku could actually answer, while also conveying that his time with it was limited and so he needed to finish the fight quickly. And so before Granola could even move or react, Goku was already in the process of kicking him in the face. The lens over Granola's eye would come off as he couldn't even process what had just happened, as Goku was already beneath him and would deliver a rolling kick to his opponent that would have him hurtle with a newfound trajectory. With Granola now scraping the clouds, Goku would again meet the man and from above send him to the ground by way of collision between elbow and neck. He would now again attempt to communicate with Granola, who wasn't having it at all. A desperate attack to hit Goku would be made and easily halted as he would send Granola spinning in the air. After catching his balance, Granola would go in for another attack as Goku, like a masterful matador to a raging bull, would step to the side as Granola rammed towards nothing. He would then succeed this with a barrage of kicks that would also lead to a number of misses before going in for a chop as Goku, looking elsewhere, would raise a hand and telekinetically stop Granola mid-attack. Granola would yell out for Goku to release him as he would casually be brought overhead and positioned for a powerful blast to the abdomen. This would be followed by a series of long-distance punches that would push Granola away and effectively put an end to the fight. A result that sort of disappointed Vegeta as he had yet to get a turn of his own just yet. But even still, something wasn't right. Granola's power hadn't dropped nearly as much as it should have, as suddenly Vegeta would sense something else. But with the fight now over, Goku would again speak to Granola, this time trying to make casual conversation in regards to training and such, applauding his opponent like a good sportsman after a game. However, Granola wasn't done, as despite this, from his perspective, he hadn't lost just yet. He'd admit that it was a mistake to underestimate Goku, and that he shouldn't have split his power in the beginning. He would then go on to say that the Granola before him was him, yet not him. In reality, he had taken some power from himself and made an illusory clone. Vegeta, now picking up on this, would yell out to Goku, warning him of Granola's true body and location, but Goku was of course still very confused, and just as Vegeta looked back, Granola, the real one anyways, was already gone. He ever so stealthily struck Goku with a direct hit to the chest, immediately knocking him back to base as he would look downward to the blow as if shot by a gun. Granola would then cement his triumph with a fist to the very same point, which sent Goku a great ways away as blood spewed from his mouth. Granola had won. A dirty trick, but a victory all the same. He decided to fight the two with a clone for the sake of conserving his strength for Frieza, but even still, this wasn't so bad since he clone managed to shave off a bit of time Goku needed to maintain his true Ultra Instinct form, which ultimately provided him the opening that he needed. But from here, Vegeta would then land before him, as he would admit to being impressed, as Granola would in turn tell him to move aside so he could put an end to Goku's life. But it wasn't like Goku would be going anywhere anytime soon, so Vegeta would make it clear that he would be Granola's opponent from here on out. And since Granola didn't care either way, he was willing to accept this as it didn't matter which of them died first. But listen, from here on out we would have Vegeta over here just thugging as he would spit out onto the ground and say that the one to die would be Granola like the rest of his tribe. A sentiment that immediately got on Granola's nerves. Vegeta would then follow up by saying that if Granola is so intent on killing off all of the Saiyans, then he'll just have to do everything in his power to put him in the ground. That the tribe facing extinction here was the Cerealians, as his God of Destruction earring would shine brighter than any gold chain, and that was the chapter. What a G, all hail the prince, man. Vegeta is over here with the same energy as Beerus during his training. Vegeta clearly has more stakes in this fight, and so I am happy that he's getting the opportunity to prove himself here. Now, although Granola split his power, that's not to say it was necessarily a clean 50-50, but he was clearly uneasy about Ultra Instinct, so despite all the power he has, if given a little bit more time to master everything, this man Granola easily gets washed in a round 2 if it even comes to that. I'm really not sure how much longer this arc will last, definitely a few more months at that, but past this I can certainly see us after triumphing against the strongest in the universe, again braving other universes and perhaps those not present during the Tournament of Power. My enthusiasm for Dragon Ball Super and its future are as high as ever, and I hope you guys feel the same way because we will be here for all of it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Plot Armor with notifications on so you never miss a thing. We also cover everything anime and manga over on Twitter and Instagram at PlotArmorYT, so give us a follow if you really want to stay in the loop. Because when it comes to bringing you some of the best Dragon Ball Super content on the platform, Plot Armor has you covered. As always, I'm Slice of Otaku. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.